Remarkable day for Twitter. The IPO, Greg, as you've been tracking through the course of the day, actually closed off its best level of the session.
Yeah, I think we briefly got above $50 a share, pulled back down at the end of the session, but still, when you're priced at 26, you end the day in the mid-40s. I would assume they're pretty happy, but some analysts are starting to take a second look now, saying that was a little bit too much, a little bit too high of a price, not so comfortable with it. So it is interesting what people are now starting to say about the prospects of them continuing this.
Well, the question, of course, becomes when are they going to be profitable, and is that business model sustainable? Kosha Gada is a principal at business development consultancy, A.T. Kearney. She is in New York for her perspective. Kosha, thank you again for joining us.
Thanks, Michael. Good to be with you.
You are telling your clients that, yes, Twitter is, in fact, a viable business model. How so?
We do believe that. So they're currently projecting to get in the black essentially in 2015. And I think the fundamental question is there value for a service that connects people to communities, connects people to personalities and brands that they like to hear from? And I think there definitely is a fundamental value in that. The question becomes, how are they going to monetize the different assets that they have accurately in order to get in the black by that time frame?
And what's the answer?
So we think that the success or the road to revenue essentially lies in three main areas. So one, and this is what's gotten a lot of press and talk today, and I know your previous guests were talking about that as well, is they're pushing into advertising much more strongly, and that's definitely the vision of their CEO right now. We all know that businesses that rely primarily on advertising are fundamentally vulnerable, so that's definitely going to be something that they have to guard against, and the way to do that will be in making innovative advertising products and moving away from just banner ads and straight tweet advertisements that just talk to the users as opposed to engaging with them. The second piece is going to be to really figure out how they can monetize their user base in a way that doesn't put them at risk of backlash around that. So there's certain early forays into that they're already making around possibly analytics that they can sell to content companies, to advertisers about what tweets mean and what things are hot or interesting. So for example, in the last Super Bowl season, they had something like 2 million tweets during the commercial talking about the different commercials and what was speaking to the consumers. That definitely has value and something that they can monetize if they do that effectively. They could potentially explore some kind of a freemium model, which is where they keep the service free for 80% of the users as they are, but they try to offer some premium services that they can charge a subscription for as well. So this is very futuristic, but it's a direction that they can go into. And then the last piece is definitely how...
I was going to ask you about that. I know that you're talking about mobile, because that seems so key in the space, isn't it? Just, you got to get mobile right if you're going to be a social media player.
That's absolutely right, and that's one advantage that Twitter definitely has over most of their peers, including Facebook. So given their microblogging short format content, about 75% of their user base today is accessing Twitter through mobile devices, and it's about 41% or so for Facebook. This is definitely the wave of the future. It's what advertisers are very interested in. It's a huge access point into emerging markets where they're trying to also grow. So that's an advantage they have. The key is, can they stay ahead of the curve and keep up their lead, as well as be nimble enough to anticipate what the next device is in 10 years out, ahead of mobile, and stay nimble that way.
Kosha, great speaking with you. Thank you so much for your insight as always.
Thank you.
Kosha Gada, principal at business strategy consultancy A.T. Kearney. She joined us from New York.